Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another monthly active users, Mike and his favorite Unks podcast. It's a Friday, so we're happy, we're excited. I have my two lovely co-hosts, Mr. Wayne and Jamie. How have you been, guys? How's y'all week been?
Been been okay. Been busy, but good.
Been busy. We see upgrades, by the way. We see the setup upgrade. The M.A.U budget has increased. We're no longer
Oh,
using
oh,
T.
we have
What?
an
How is
MAU
it?
budget?
How is it
Congratulations.
increased? Other than I assume a ton was spent on tokens that you're about to reveal.
Well, first and foremost, actually, listen, we have a structure. I don't want to break structure, but I've reached my weekly GPT 5.4 limit, and I am now forced to use Slopus 4.6. So it's been a tough 2 days, but I can't complain. Wayne, how about you? How's your week been?
Week's been good. It's been good. It's a lot of catching up and planning. I think I've done more whiteboarding this week than I have talking with agents, just planning out for the year in advance. So it's a weird week.
Do your
Wow.
agents miss you?
Yeah, my agents miss
Yeah, I
miss
get
me.
it.
Like I think,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Let me find out
I
your
think
you missed
what's
4-0.
that?
I said let
Mickey, I think
speak.
I'm hearing Mickey's mic cut out. Are you hearing that, Wayne?
Yeah. I thought we had upgrades.
My bad, guys. Hold on. Is it
You
better
go after
now?
the
Is
Yeah,
it better now? Is it better
it's
now?
it's at least it's not it doesn't sound as fancy, but it at least is we can hear you if that's what
Okay,
you're
yeah,
asking.
yeah,
yeah.
I thought we upgraded. I thought the mic would be better, but unfortunately, it's not the case. But apparently, Wayne, I think we have something to share. According to
Yeah.
Jamie, everything is fine. And I don't know if you mean that literally or metaphorically. Jamie, can you give us a rundown on what's happening at Convex? It looks like whatever this chart is, it's just going parabolic.
Yeah, a lot of people are using Convex, right? Which is a good thing, but also means that the team is just incredibly busy trying to keep up with the growth. So we've uh, we've had a busy week. We're scaling the clusters, and every now and then we'll have a new traffic show up that all of a sudden just goes like 20x overnight, and then we have to first figure out is this is this a DDoS attack? Is it an exciting new project? So there's been a lot of that lately on just getting really good at hypergrowth, basically. So, and it's a skill. It takes work to get good at it, but
Well,
but
you're
yeah, I have a
telling
great
me
team
you
for
can't.
it.
You're telling me you can't have some sort of agent skill to just figure this all out for you guys?
Oh, if only we could, like I'm sure our customers would be so happy if we just let the agents loose in our infra, just like turning knobs and it would work out great.
I mean that's what everyone's talking about now. I don't know if
Sure
you
they
guys
are.
saw the article, and I haven't read into it, so I don't know like if the article was like exaggerating how serious the claim is, but apparently like AWS is sort of like rolling back on like vibe coding, or sorry, that's a cuss word now, agentic engineering, because a lot of bad code has somehow entered the space. And what's funny is they use their own keyword harness, Kiro, and apparently the way it fixed stuff was deleting stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Del-
glad. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was to say deleting code deletes bugs. I mean that is true, but
Technically, you
Yeah,
fixed the problem
yeah.
by getting rid of it. And
No,
yeah,
well,
like
Mickey, that wasn't a topic, but I'm glad you brought it up because that was a serious thing with AWS and Amazon. Like, if it's the same story, like they had someone come in basically like, hey, we got to use this agent to help work at Amazon, and a lot of the engineering staff was like, this is not a good tool. This is not a good platform. We should not use it. But it was like a top down saying, hey, let's use it. End up like causing a lot of buzz, deleting data, and like messing them. I think it what took AWS down. No, Amazon down. Amazon down. So it was a mess.
so you're telling me that I actually need skill, and the AI just can't do the work for me. Is this the conclusion we've come to?
we're so close to the utopia we can just curl up in a ball and not try anymore, but alas, we're not quite there yet. So some trying is still necessary.
And have any of you tried NVIDIA's new open source model, Nemotron or whatever it's called?
No, we're not among the 7 people that tried it.
Uh,
No. I'm just
you
kidding,
know what's
NVIDIA.
funny? You know
I'm
what's
sure
funny?
it's good.
I'm usually part of the 7, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this: I haven't tried it out.
Well, I trust me, Mickey, I can tell by the fact you just kinda threw that out to us. You were hoping one of us would save you, and you you're probably specifically hoping that Wayne, let's be
Oh,
honest, you're hoping that Wayne would
I
save us.
I thought what I was like,
oh.
maybe, maybe there's yeah, I did not try it. But isn't it kind of hilarious where like Nvidia invests billions and bajillions in OpenAI and they drop a model? Obviously, I'm not saying they're competing, but like what's the like is Nvidia bored? Like from a CEO perspective, Jamie, like what was the point of doing that if they're already raking in so much money with selling hardware?
I think that so many things are shifting right now. Everyone's worried about like what's the fancy business term, like disintermediation or intermediation, like whatever the right. It's sort of like right now, when Nvidia is selling everybody GPUs, all is good. But even when some of the providers start like flirting with Google, we're going to buy TPUs from Google or whatever. I think Nvidia doesn't want the Surface to have the supply chain shift away from them. And
Mm,
if they could own the Surface, now they can continue to leverage the like hardware power they have. So, yeah, I mean, if your company suddenly goes from being worth whatever a mere $1 trillion to being worth $14 trillion or whatever they are now, I don't know what the latest is. I mean, there's definitely, let's just say the R&D budget went up. All right, when that happens. So I think you're gonna put a lot of irons in the fire just to see, how much of the space you can feel out, like if we can have a presence here. So,
so
um,
basically, like when you have so much money, you can have fun experimenting with stuff. Is essentially
yeah.
the point.
Well, not only that, but I think that it's a good hedge, right? That if suddenly, I don't know, some of these other hardware things started to take some of the because obviously when everyone's so dependent on Nvidia, Nvidia's buyers have a tremendous incentive to try to find some other vendor to leverage pricing pressure against Nvidia. And so Nvidia would also like to be able to leverage pressure back that like we're also going to be trying to own the maybe the developer surface and the so
Mm,
that they each have, maybe a healthier competitive relationship than just being existentially dependent on a one-to-one relationship like they are right now. So,
that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, it's on open code for anyone who wants to try it out. Let me know what you think. Um, they need to work on the name because it's like what Nemotron.
yeah. I read
You
it
could
as
tell
Oh.
Nemotron. I was thinking fish, like,
Nemo. I don't know.
yeah,
I could.
Nemotron.
Nemotron.
Okay, that sounds a little cooler. I'm not gonna
Nemotron.
lie.
If we
That sounds a little
Nemotron
hard.
sounds
I'm not
cool.
gonna lie. That sounds kind of hard.
If we had Nemotron, finding Nemo would have been a lot easier. It just I don't know why.
Nemotron.
That's my dad joke. That's the only one this hour, I promise.
No, no, you need to
Nemotron.
keep them back. You need to keep them back.
Or I guess
But
Unk joke in this context.
Yeah.
but
Uh, but but that I
go
would say
ahead.
like open code is doing their thing. Like new model drops. They're like I feel
I've
like they're
got it.
becoming the de facto like okay new model drops. You need to be in open code. Right. There used to be
Yeah.
other platforms that started with a C. Now it's like you need to be open code first.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I I use open code all the time. So I've kind of been bouncing between I don't know if it's in our list of things to talk about, but
It's
I
okay.
we've been bouncing between T3 code and open code and a little bit of conductor too. And
Oh, you're a
yeah,
conductor guy.
I
Okay.
am. Yeah, I've been trying
Okay.
everything. I've been really opening up my mind and really trying all the different paradigms and just but I do find that even though I think the higher level tools like T3 code and conductor there is something there, right? That stuff is really cool. But every now and then something just gets like a little too slow or it doesn't do what I want and I just fire up open code on the command line. It's just solved. So there's something it's hard to describe that's so direct about an incredibly well done TUI tool that like it just yeah I can't exactly explain why, but it just seems to get out of the way and get the job done like in the right circumstances. Like so if I have something really fast to do, man, I just open code and it's done in 30 seconds and I can move on.
Wow.
So
No. I feel that. I feel that. I definitely think the terminal, there's something about like working in the terminal. I'm using CMux, and I'll use like Cloud Code and Codex. Well, now just Cloud Code because I maxed out my Codex tier. But I will say I kind of been enjoying Cursor, especially when I'm like doing the old fashioned way of writing my own code. Like Cursor feels nice, but I don't know if you guys heard Cursor lost. I don't know if it's lost. I don't know if it's swap. I don't know if it's traded. I don't know what the right term is, but they lost two of their. I don't know if they're engineer leads, but I think there were people who like helped Cursor be where it's at today. And they've moved over to XAI. Do we have hopes of XAI, the Grok models, being good at programming, or is it just going to stick to image generation? Because that's all I see Elon tweet about nowadays.
I think all the labs are full of excellent people and are excellent partners. I mean, look, between the folks going back to OpenAI after thinking machines, and like it's clearly like hyper competitive on like the senior AI side of things right now. So we've worked a little bit with XAI and known some of the people working there, and they have an incredibly, as you would expect, incredibly smart team.
Mhm.
So in terms of how that translates into market success, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but did they change something about Grok recently? Because I saw all the usual replies that were like, "Grok, is this right?" Like Grok started to be like, "You're not on Pro" or something like that. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I
No,
was like,
that's
"Oh man, did they
disrespectful.
they
did
did
they
a
just
bait and
shut off the
switch.
tap?" Yeah, I think they might have
Oh,
just. They're starting to turn the tap off on the unlimited Grok. Is this true for every like free Twitter user? Basically,
Listen,
like if you're not on Plus or whatever they call their "you got to pay us" thing, I think Grok's
that's a
starting to just
smart
go,
move.
"Nuh-uh,
that's
nuh-uh."
hilarious. Listen, I'll give
That's a smart
Elon
move.
one
That's a
thing. I'll give Elon one thing. He know how to get the profits out. That's funny.
that's a
Yeah,
smart
I
move.
wonder how much all that free inference was costing them, just like answering, "Is this true?" over and over again.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, they
Yeah,
do have the compute. They do have a lot of hardware, but like, yeah, the inference cost must be astronomical. I think one question I do have for you, Jamie, like from like a CEO perspective, all these people moving back and forth within the same companies, it must be an HR nightmare. Because like 1 week you're here, and then 3 weeks you're there, and then Grok is what Jamie said true.
I don't know.
So like,
I
how do
like
they do it? Like it
I
has
don't
to
want
be.
to say too. I don't want to say like I don't want to read too much into, because the truth is like I know a lot of people working at these companies, and some of them like their jobs, and some of them hate their jobs, and it's kind of like any bigger place that's under a lot of pressure right now. I think in general, it's incredibly difficult to keep a cohesive sense of culture when things are moving so fast. Everyone is
Yeah,
just so laser focused. They probably have to be on like not letting it slip out of their hands, like when they're under the kind of competitive environment they're in. That yeah, I mean, it is turbulent to have all these like important people move around all the time, but I think you just have to throw it on the heap of the other 17 turbulent things about working in these places right now. So I think the cultures in general is very difficult to sort of like stabilize and create a cohesive sense of like how do we all like to work together, because everything is just moving so fast, right? So just
yeah,
like don't the culture is don't lose, right? Like
yeah.
by
yeah.
default, the culture just becomes like do not lose, right? Don't let the pot of gold slip through your hands. So
No, that makes sense. Speaking of pot of gold, I heard that you and Dax just so happen to be tweeting the same thing. I don't know if you guys are besties or not, but both of y'all came to the same conclusion.
I heard later on that somebody said like right around the time you complained, Dax complained. Like I
No,
had no
literally, it was
idea that.
like
Yeah,
I wish I had a screenshot, but the moment you tweeted, the next like, and it was like
yeah,
seconds. The next
Well,
tweet he like I see was him, and both of
yeah.
y'all came to the same conclusion where it's like the LLMs are producing pretty bad code. Now, my question for you is, do you have ebbs and flows where like it's doing good then it does bad, or has your experience just been it's straight up bad nonstop?
I think that my guess is like the doomsday side of me is like I think we're gonna have a reckoning as an industry a little bit on this, because we're in the exuberance phase right now where we're just generating a lot of stuff, you know, and some of it is not very good and it doesn't work. Um, and so for me personally, I think I feel pretty confident at this point. I have a good sense of what kind of tasks the models will do a great job at, and I should just let
Mhm.
them loose. And then I'm starting to develop a better sense of what kinds of tasks that by the time I'm done with all the feedback cycles, I almost could have just like cursor tab completed that thing myself. And in fact, it probably would have gone better if I had done that and potentially taken less time. So I think it depends a lot on the kind of code you're making and the kind of task you're taking on. But I think that I'm not sure that that nuance is fully. I'll do a hot take and say understood everywhere yet, and so
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of shops where they're just kind of letting stuff loose. Back to your point about maybe the Amazon thing, right? Where like it's the models are great at making websites, right? Like they're great at making websites. They're great at making moderately complicated web apps, especially if you're using Convex. Um, I think
Mm.
the more you're doing racy state machiney kind of like but conditional branching with different workflows in the background and you're not operating on a kind of framework that will protect you like they just get stuff wrong all the time. And I think the bigger challenge it like we all make mistakes, but because they generate code that's not intuitive, it's not the way a human would write it. A lot of the times when it doesn't work, it actually takes you a fair amount of work to understand why it's not working because
Mhm.
like the
Mhm.
conditionals are all wrong and it generates like dead code that is a no op basically that shouldn't be there. Like you'd be like, why is that not equal null there? It's like, oh, you're right. That would never be null. But you have to work your way through cleaning all that up to be able to read the code. And then you can finally discover like, oh, you're not checking this. Then it goes, oh, you're right. So I think all those like you're absolutely right cycles on kind of complex like state transformation message passing kind of like classic like race condition code like it's really bad at that stuff. And if even if you had a lot of tests, I know a number of people replied to my tweet being like get good, you're not you're not doing tests good enough or
Skill
whatever, and like
issue. It's a skill
skill issue.
issue.
Like I guess just have to like trust me. I have a lot of experience with developing, like testing philosophies and frameworks and stuff for like these kinds of code bases and yeah, it's I think we're still a ways away from like maybe the kind of a resonance among all of like engineering industry on what kinds of things it's applicable for now, and then what additional kinds of controls we're going to have to figure out how to roll out across all these other domains in order to have the agents really just YOLO without reading the code. So anyway, I was trying to solve one of those problems. I was trying to fix a convex component that had a
Yeah.
problem that had some interesting kind of state management elements to it, and um, in this case, it was GPT-5.4, and GPT-5.4 was just generating stuff that was just wrong, but it was wrong in ways that were really subtle, and you had to read the code very carefully to
Mhm.
discover. And
Mhm.
then eventually you get a "you're absolutely right" out of it, and you're like, it's pretty damn scary because it took me a couple hours of like getting you to simplify your code and talking through what you were doing in order for us to like discover it together. That's a very
Yeah.
terrifying idea because I definitely could have seen someone who wasn't being as paranoid as me just rolling that thing out and being like, "Seems good," and then like you'd have a sev like a few days later.
No, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you know what's funny? I think there are like various voices. Like on one hand, you might have like even the non-technical person who has the ability now to churn out as many CRUD apps as possible, and that to them feels like a superpower. So you have them being super loud, and then on the other side of the spectrum, you have someone like yourself or like many developers who are working on maybe like not your casual simple CRUD problem, but like a more like engineering, like a more like a problem with more depth, and then you realize, oh, the model's really not good here, right? So it's like you have these two conflicting voices, and on the one side, they'll say to the engineer, oh, it's a skill issue. On the other side, it's like, no, it's not a skill issue. I think both people are right because they're both speaking from a different point of view, right? If you've never made an app and now you're cooking CRUD apps, I can't even imagine the dopamine rush you must feel, right? But if you've been a developer for some time, um, then the pushback, especially that you and Dax made, completely makes sense. And the models will make stuff up. They will tell you, oh yeah, this is perfectly fine. And if you don't G check it, like I had Opus generate a plan the other day, and this is the best plan possible. And I got GPT 5.4 to generate a plan, and I sent it to Opus, and Opus is like, right, you know what? My plan was actually faulty. I got this wrong. This is much better, right? So you
Mhm.
can't really just trust the models, like your trust, like your paranoia level should be as high as the problem that you're solving. So if the problem's pretty difficult, you should be very paranoid. But if it's something simple, by all means, have
Yeah.
fun.
I do
Well,
think though that those engineers that do more systemsy work, just to defend the agentic side for a second, because it obviously is super real and there's a ton of value there. They're also too fast though to be like, because I don't trust this thing with the problems I solve. This stuff is useless, and it's like it is definitely not useless. Like
Yeah.
if you are working on the right problem, the agents are incredibly effective at writing all that code for you, and you really do not need to read it that closely, right? But it's just such a big it depends, right? That like there's no easy answer, and like it depends is normally the stuff that like Twitter hot takes like we're cooking, we're cooked don't
We're
normally get
cooking, we're
into
cooked.
nuance, right? Like the we're cooking,
yeah,
we're cooked spectrum does not incorporate enough nuance to like be like sometimes, right? Like there's not a lot of sometimes on Twitter right now, right? We're either
yeah,
all doomed or all this is worthless, and obviously I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, but like having that conversation is a lot less exciting than screaming about one extreme or the other.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
cooked and we're
yeah.
cooking.
I want to point out a couple things. One, let me first share this screen. So Jamie posted this at 2:30 p.m. on March the 9th. That's his post was at 7:30 a.m. on March the 10th. So it was not at the same time, and Jamie's was first.
No, but you know what's funny? I guess maybe it was on the For You, but like I
Uh-huh.
literally saw it like
Yeah.
next to next.
Yeah,
So maybe I
it
saw it
was
on
on
the
the
For
For
You.
You.
Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense. Because I saw it next to
yeah.
next.
So
I'm like, are these guys besties? Like, what's going? Like,
You know what
yeah, so
my real issue was though, like this is the I guess the only thing I actually care to put out there about this right now, because I think the rest everyone we'll all figure this out together, right? But like
yeah, yeah.
I have to admit though that I didn't have as much fun. That was actually the thing I didn't like the
Mm,
most, right? Is it like I felt like I'd spent the whole day like coaching a junior engineer, but not one who I had a relationship with or would make fewer mistakes tomorrow, right? Like there was like
yeah.
you're like,
mm,
oh, instead I could have just written this, and I know what that fun feels like. I like to build
mm,
things. I like the satisfaction of like putting the blocks together, seeing the test pass. I thought through the edge case ahead of time. Like that has a rhythm to me that's really familiar. And like this version of working on a problem together where it just felt like I was like, no, you're still not right. Did you check X? And then I have to wait 3 minutes for it to do another cycle. Like it was not an enjoyable day. Right. So like I didn't like my job is not really building code that much anymore, but like to the extent that that day was kind of a day where I'm like, I'm just going to make this an engineering day. And like that day was like a lot less fun than just doing it myself, even though maybe I got it done in around the same amount of time. Like it wasn't the joy I usually feel when I like make things with code.
yeah,
And
So
and that I think that's one battle I have right now between like enjoyment and like productivity, where in a sense, like
mhm.
to your point, there are certain things that I know like the model is really, really good at, right? And like to me, it almost makes no sense, like from a business or like from a productivity perspective, to do that by hand. But then it's like, how do I balance productivity versus like, like keep it a buck, like sheer happiness, right? Like like you, like I thoroughly enjoy looking at a problem, figuring it out, solving it, seeing all the test pass, seeing it fully functional, and then like that, like enjoyment that I don't even know what the word is, but that excitement you see, I don't really get that from an LLM as well. So it is I don't know how you balance that the
yeah.
productivity gains versus joy.
Well, Mickey, Jim, right before you get to that, Mickey, I want to go back to something. You say you run your things to a G check. What is that? What's a G check?
Okay, sorry. Basically, what a G check means, it is
Wayne, I know, but I'm gonna let Mickey answer. So
Okay.
go ahead, Mickey.
this
Yeah.
is let me ask AI, how can I explain G check
What
without
what's a G?
getting canceled?
No,
Let's
let's
see what
have
AI
what's the next
says.
topic on the
Okay, all
agenda?
right, okay. Send to me the slide because you talk about because you talking about like you run the model through the G check. Wait, what? Like, okay, all
Meaning,
right.
like
Next
we're
topic.
having we're having periodic checks where my tone might be slightly aggressive, but let's remember it's a model, not a person, right? Um, and I've been told that the models are safe and they won't rise against us, even though I've
Oh,
watched
oh,
tons of
oh,
movies.
oh.
Uh,
Okay,
so
I get it. It's a GG check.
yes,
Okay.
it's a GG check, like all
Okay.
caps, What the heck are
Let's just
you
say that
doing?
G does not stand for Gemini in this
No.
case. Like,
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, G-Check, do you have like a plan mode? There's like an alt mode, there's a G mode, and
No.
like,
I
okay, no,
actually
it's a G
I
mode.
think I have a screenshot I can show. Like one
sometimes
time
there's not a plan. It's sometimes there's no plan needed. Yeah.
Okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. All right, my bad.
No, literally one time I told it to do something and it was like, "Oh, it's actually not possible to do this." And like in all caps, I literally responded saying, "Do you not understand what innovation is? It is possible, just do it." So that's like yeah, that's like a
I
standard.
see. You have the opposite tactic of me. I will do needless flattery. It'll be like say the word and I'll go at the end of the plan, right? And I'll be like, "You go, you cute little bot," or whatever. Like I'll just throw stuff in there that, like, because it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to do it just to entertain myself, but I also do it because I'm like, is there any chance it does a better or worse job on the basis if I like,
Complimented.
give it a
I mean,
little
there
give it a
was
little
this theory.
goose when it
There,
goes?
there was this theory back in the day where like I think it windsurf that like in their system prompts they were threatening the model. I don't know
Yeah,
if those like if that's still true, if that's effective. But
shift G
I
to
haven't
G
done
check.
so.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah,
Downshift.
All
here
right,
it is. Here it is. I found a G check. Here it is. Please, Wayne, share this. I
all right.
found
Where you put it at?
I'm gonna put in the private chat. I found a G
Okay,
check. Like and this is like one of the nice ones, I will say, but I was pretty frustrated.
all right, give me.
So for
All right,
anyone who
cool.
didn't understand what like the like and this is actually scientifically backed. There's a paper on this that hasn't been released yet.
Oh,
I was like, brother, don't tell me what's not possible. You know what?
Oh man.
oh,
Oh yeah.
oh,
See, yeah, the
oh.
question is like, did you just like traverse the network in a way where you're just going to get worse outputs because when you did that, right? So you know, like
Well,
whatever represents like resentful work, you just like ended up in that corner of the neural net,
oh.
basically. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it didn't do
oh,
it. It
oh.
didn't do it. So, like,
okay,
their system does not work.
yeah,
I don't recommend.
yeah.
But yeah, that's what a standard a G
Okay,
check is. Wayne,
all right, I got it. I
I hope that
appreciate it.
makes sense. No problem. Speaking of G checks, have you all seen the recent conversation between everyone in AI talking about MCP is either dead or is alive? MCP has died like 5 times in the last month. Um, and like I guess the conversation is, does it make more sense for an agent to be given a CLI tool, or should we just give it the API, or does MCP make sense? I'm curious to hear, starting with you, Jamie, what are your thoughts on this?
When MCP first came out, like, to be honest, I was pretty upset and Anthropic because I was like, the last fucking thing the world needs is another RPC format, like the idea was a good idea, but and I know that the protocol, it was really bad back then and it's gotten better, but um I love the idea of MCP. I wish it had used something like gRPC or some kind of like, we've already put so much work into all the questions around like how do you evolve a protocol and how do you like do auth-z at a protocol, and like it feels like we're kind of reinventing all that for some reason on MCP. But the concept of what MCP is there for, of course, is a really valuable thing. But yeah, all that stuff about like versioning and compatibility, and like we've already had to work through all that on every other thing we've ever made, whether it's REST or gRPC or whatever. So it would have been nice to see some more focused layer about like how do we make APIs fit what models need, and then maybe we could just extend all the shit we already have rather than make a whole nother thing. So I would love for the ideas in MCP to be able to somehow find their way into having the way we use APIs to work both for deterministic programs and probabilistic programs like agents, so that we're not reinventing things like security and access policies in two different places and being like, do these represent the same thing? Especially because, as you guys know, the cleverer the agents get, right? OpenClaw is a great example of this. Like a lot of times they'll just YOLO and figure out the API anyway, right? They don't
Mhm,
need you to
mhm,
make them something special. Like they know how to
mhm.
talk HTTP. So doubling down on that is like the how do we make our APIs safe and ergonomic for agents rather than invent a whole separate thing? I would have preferred that to have happened, but
So you're basically build on what already exists. Like maybe like you extend some things versus like having a whole new spec, which to your point has its own whole new challenges, right? Um, and that makes sense. Well, if that's the case, then how do you feel about auth for agents? Because there's a whole new slew of startups and their pitch is auth for agents. Now, are you of the classic, we should just build on top of what already exists, or does something new have to exist for agents?
I don't think you need something new. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I understand the economic incentive to be X for agents for any given
Hey,
X,
listen,
right?
the
Like,
VCs are throwing
VC
money.
is gonna,
The VCs
yeah, I
are
mean,
throwing money, so
but you could even just look at stealing like what's a modernized version of all of the public clouds ideas about service accounts and stuff like that. Like the idea that the algorithm invoking it is probabilistic and exploratory instead of deterministic, like that doesn't mean you need a whole separate thing in my mind,
yeah,
right? And I think it's going to introduce overheads to every company where they're like, we made this capability available, and everyone's gonna be like, in the API or in the MCP, right? And like Convex, as early as we are, right? Like we still have stuff where the MCP can do some stuff the API can't do, and vice versa. And we're always losing track of which is which. And then our customers are confused. And then, but sometimes the agents just use the APIs anyway. And it feels like we should have just made these one thing, right? Like, and
yeah.
just been like, how do they need to evolve for agents? How does auth and an auth C need to evolve for agents? Um, Not, oh my gosh, we need a whole separate infrastructure and protocol definition. Like, I'm not sure why that was necessary.
I guess, Wayne, it does not make sense to pitch Jamie our startup within Convex, the auth
Oh,
for agents and the Convex for agents. I guess it's not a good time to pitch it that then.
I mean,
No, we not.
if it has traction, I think it's a great idea. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm done with auth. I'm leaving that to Robo. I think is watching that. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. But I think we have some. Yeah, yeah. I think we have some guests. We have some guests here.
Oh,
Yeah,
please, let's
yeah,
bring up our guest, Wayne, if you can bring him up and
yeah,
introduce him.
yeah. I'm bringing up Catherine. Catherine. I'm bringing up Catherine. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Catherine.
Catherine.
How's it going? Nice to
Nice.
nice to meet you all.
Likewise, nice to meet you
Hello.
as well. If for those of us who don't know, well, I followed you on Twitter, now I know. If you could, share a little bit about yourself and what you do, would love to hear.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Catherine. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Kernel. We provide crazy fast open source cloud infrastructure for AI agents to use the internet. Practically, what that means is we offer browsers as a service and enable AI agents to really easily connect to them in the cloud and do whatever they need to do. You can kind of think of it as, like Claude Code can open your local browser and do things, but when you want to take that job and parallelize it across like many workloads, run many agents in parallel in the cloud, Kernel is the best place to do that.
Now, I do have a question. How has like traction and growth been since OpenClaw took off? Because like the most like I've seen, and I could be wrong, but like I heard a lot about kernel when people are like, "Oh, I'm using a VPS and I don't have a browser, just use kernel." How has that like have things changed since? Like, how's that growth been?
Well, I mean, broadly, growth adoption has been crazy, I would say, in the past few months, and probably not unique to Kernel, but many AI native cloud infrastructure providers. I really feel like there was, maybe you've seen this too. We saw a huge shift kind of from like 2025 to 2026, just in the fact of like 2025 was supposed to be the year of the agents, and like, yeah, it was like kind of there, kind of there. But like when, like the past few months, we've just seen with the models increasingly able to do arbitrary tasks, just seeing pretty crazy growth. We grew 85% last month, and trying to hang on to our hats. The OpenClaw kind of phenomenon has been really, really interesting. I think there's a lot of room for that to continue to grow. If anything, it really has brought the concept of agents to maybe less technical audiences in a meaningful way, where all of a sudden, if you're not actively using Claude Code on a daily basis, but you can conceptualize the concept of like, hey, an agent that can like do anything on your behalf and like not just like looking at, not just scraping data, not just like reading and reading public information, but like truly act on your behalf. And that's one of that concept of like agents reading and writing on end users' behalf is one of our North Stars of where we think the world is going to be headed. And we think about what that what implications that has from a product perspective very deeply.
Yeah, Captain. Similar on that note, I was at a conference recently, and they was talking about 90%. They're planning for their ICP to be 90% agents and 10% customers, right? And then with your platform, like with Kernel, like, are you planning the same case? Are you planning the same way?
It seems somewhat inevitable to me. I mean, we wrote our docs, thinking humans would be reading the docs, and that's like increasingly not the case. We initially built a CLI to, instantiate for developers to use our browsers. Cloud Code is really amazing at using our CLI, and so very much increasingly we are pretty convinced that agents and Claude and kind of like arbitrary tasks will be done. And the thing is, like, the marginal cost of an agent to go do a task is so small that what you end up seeing is not that like agents are replacing, like I was going to do a task and the agent goes and does that task, but it's like, well, if I have 5 of them or 10 of them, like why not just have them spin up and do something? And they're increasingly capable of doing it too. And so that's like kind of another angle that we look at things from a product perspective of like, we do believe that agents are going to be using kind of instantiating and using our browsers more and more in kind of in autonomous ways. And so what are the product interfaces, the APIs, the CLIs we can provide to them to make them supercharged?
And I do have a quick question. What's like being used more, the MCP or the CLI? Because we were just having like this discussion like literally 10 minutes before you joined.
Yep. It's a good question. I candidly, I love to have Cloud Code use the CLI. We do also have an MCP server. We recently kind of boiled down. We had a number of tools, and we kind of like shrunk that down to a more like opinionated and minimal set that we felt would make Claude more useful and give it more guidance about how to use those tools. It is a little bit of a they could be seen as, either or. I'm not entirely sure. I was listening to your conversation right before this about, why do we need new protocols when we already have things like APIs and SDKs? But yeah, today we support both.
Awesome. In terms of like your journey, we met at the about, it hasn't been a year, the Data Lab YC Hackathon, about 6 months ago, longer. And are you a 2-time YC founder? Is that correct? 2x YC founder?
Yeah, this is my second company. My co-founder Raf, also his second company. Both of us have been through YC a couple of times, and so this is definitely a fun journey doing it, going at bat during this paradigm shift for sure.
Nice. What'd you say the biggest difference between, like, because you was like YC 2016 to like YC now? What do you say the biggest difference is between the 2 gaps, 2 cohorts? Yeah.
I mean, like everything in tech, like the pace is just so much faster. I think in 2016, you'd be really lucky if you hit, like 10 customers and maybe launched your product publicly. And now the YC engine is kind of this whole program that really incentivizes you to ship your product early, put you in front of early customers, gain early adoption traffic. And then of course the ability to raise a seed round out of that is pretty phenomenal. I think at its core, the program is still, I think it still has the same ethos, but like the program has changed in the way that the industry has changed. And so, seed rounds are bigger, more people are investing in seed. Traction as a seed stage company in the era of LLMs is definitely possible. And so all the ways that OIC has changed over the years, I think is just in line with how Silicon Valley and like venture capital has changed. But at its core, I met some of my best friends in the 2016 batch. I'm actually, I'm staying at this department I'm in is one of my friends from S16. And I have some really great friends from S25 as well. And yeah, I expect that to be the case in 10 years time as well.
Awesome. And one more before we wrap up. What is your thoughts on auth for agents? I know we're going to talk to some other people in a few minutes, but like auth for agents, we were just having a conversation about that. And
Because
how
we're
does
looking to
Kernel
raise a
approaching that?
seed fund. We're looking to raise a seed fund for this. So like we're just, and if you're interested, you could let us know as well. By the way, just FYI, friends and family entry.
Okay, yeah. Send me the details afterwards.
All right, Micky, we got one.
Yeah, it's really it is. We definitely believe it's the next frontier. When you look at what agents were doing in 2025, it was mostly interacting with the public web, interacting with tools that it has access to, often operating in a very local context on your local computer. You have, your browser is already instantiated with your Google Auth and your LinkedIn Auth. It already has your API keys kind of in your CLI. But as you see the agents moving to like more background tasks, you have like Cursor Cloud Agents, and Notion just came out with the Cloud Agents product. The next task is really like, how do you make that cloud experience for like highly parallelized scaled agents work just as well and seamlessly as it does on your local? And I think the auth challenge is a really, really big one. I think it takes form in many shapes. And so, OAuth for MCP or just OAuth for access to web services generally. Kernel just launched, and last month we launched a product called Managed Auth. And that basically allows, you can think of it as like Plaid for any website. It allows end users to give their consent and credentials securely to an agent on Kernel's platform. Kernel actually handles that login on kind of like websites, so like DoorDash.com or Netflix.com. We manage all of that kind of under the hood in a secure manner, so that way our developers and customers don't have to. And so any agent that spins up a browser on Kernel basically is already dropped into a pre-provisioned, like pre-authenticated website, the same way that if you had Claude Code locally access your browser and go to Netflix.com, it would already be logged in. And that's we're very excited about that.
So I can get my agent to log into my DoorDash and order me food.
110%. We have an agent that uses this product, and it orders groceries once a week for our office.
Okay, I'm doing that. Not the groceries, but the DoorDash. I'm doing that.
All right, cool. Yeah. So I was talking with Gabe. All right, when are we going to see a kernel Convex component launch?
Yeah.
When's that happening?
Is that the auth startup, auth 1.0 startup that we were just talking about? Is that what we need?
No, that's another one. No, that's another one. We're
Yes.
still figuring out the terms and like all that stuff.
Right.
We just came up with it today, so like give us
Right.
some time.
Yeah,
I know things
early
move
days.
fast, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, Catherine, great to catch up again. Awesome on your success with Kernel, and I hope we can collaborate on a Convex component soon.
Let's do it.
Congrats on your success.
Thanks so much. Lovely to meet you all.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
You know what I just thought of? Imagine
What?
You gave the agent access to a browser. It has access to your DoorDash. And imagine it looks at like the payment options and it's like, you know what? It makes sense to use Klarna instead. And then it uses Klarna instead of paying the full price. Let's say you kill that agent or that session. Like, I don't know how Klarna works. Isn't it supposed to go back and pay again? Like, could you be like cooked?
I don't know what you're asking, Micky.
You know what? Listen.
I'll be honest.
We're talking about stocks.
I want to say something smart right then, but like you have to run us through that again. What's the agent doing?
All right.
You know what? Let's just go on to the next person, next topic. I thought I was hanging with my friends, bro. Let's just go to the next topic.
All right.
Next person.
Eddie, you ready? I'm bringing them on. I think you're ready. There we go.
How's it going?
Mr. Eddie, how's it going?
Nice to meet you guys. I was just I was in the backstage laughing real quick. I didn't quite follow the question myself.
Don't add on to this.
Micky went right past 3D chess into 4D backgammon or something. It was just you were too far ahead. I think you'll have to explain it to us after the show.
I appreciate that. But first and foremost, we have Addy, one of the founders of HML. Congrats on the raise, by the way.
Thank you so
Big
much.
shout
Yeah,
out. Uh,
congratulations.
and like, yeah, tell us like how has this process been? Like, Agent Mail has been taken off, especially with OpenClaw. My OpenClaw agent Solomon, his email is an Agent Mail email. So,
Let's go.
yeah, how's like the growth been the last couple of weeks or months?
Yeah. It's really interesting because when we first started, it was why would my agent need its own email inbox? And we got that for months and months and months. And then OpenClaw happens, and suddenly the world just goes, why doesn't my agent have an email inbox? Right. So that was the shift. When we were building initially, we were selling to a lot of B2B companies. So this is like your invoice processing agents, claims auditing, etc. Um, and now what we realized is we just needed the world to have a product that was so intuitive, that was actually an agent and not like a Zapier automation. Um, and that would just kind of make our case clear. So since OpenClaw, I think we took off. It started off with one of our users making a skill, and then we just doubled down and hammered because we thought, well, people don't just buy Mac Minis for no reason. So that could be the start of something big. And it's been good. It's been good. We've been scaling up since then.
That's awesome. Now, like, what made you like when everyone, to your point, everyone was like, "Why would my agent need an email?" When did that realization happen? Like, did you guys watch a sci-fi movie and you're like, you know what, this is the future, or like, what
I
was
robot.
like for me? It's iRobot. If you haven't watched iRobot, I recommend you do.
Yeah.
But like, what was like, what made you guys think like, okay, this is the product we're gonna build? Because like now it makes sense, but to your point, a lot of people didn't understand early on.
Yeah. That's a great question. It's like one of my favorite stories. In a nutshell, we were trying to get rich quick. So we
I
we were back
appreciate
in
the
college.
honesty.
Yeah, as most good things start. But we were back in college. Everyone was talking about agents. This was November 24. But what agents really were back then were 10-second half-baked demos. No one really had like a strict definition for what an agent was. It was just mainly Twitter hype. So we saw a lot of things going on, and our inclination was, okay, we're seniors. We should spin up like a side project or a side hustle and use agents to make money. So what we thought was, if you can go on Shopify, every single new account on Shopify gives you a free trial. So what if you could just spin an account up, use a free trial, sell things for free, and spin the account down once you're done with it? And then we thought, okay, maybe we could just arbitrage free trials and make money on the internet, and we can use like an agent to automate like the whole thing. So as you can imagine, there's two problems with that, and it didn't really like work out the way we were expecting. One was the agents weren't good enough. Two was it's really hard to give an agent its own email inbox. We worked with Gmail, we worked with Outlook. They're built for humans. There's OAuth hassles. There were rate limits in sending. Accounts would get banned and flagged. And we thought, okay, if agents are going to be the next big thing, they probably need their own email address. And that's how kind of like the fundamental idea of Agent Mail came to be.
Awesome. And like, when was it like, okay, so you reached this point. When was it like, you're like, oh, like everyone now needs this? Like, was it when OpenClaw dropped? Like, when was that inflection point? Because I'm sure now you guys are like, yeah, we were right. But when was it you're like, oh, this is like our redemption arc right here?
Yeah.
Redemption arc.
I think it came in ebbs and flows. So the first time we knew we were onto something is when we were working with a startup. And this was like, we didn't have docs for the API. It was just bare bones, like kind of like, a very, very early prototype and like a startup, and they had considerable traction. They were seed stage. They threw out their whole Gmail infra and just started using AgentMail. So that was kind of like a hiring agent startup. And this was back when we were in college. We didn't charge them a thing for it. And then when we came to YC, we noticed like a lot of agentic companies are going to need this, especially in verticals like car dealerships or logistics, fleet shipping. Like these are all just running with the email being like backbone. Like email is like the central source of truth. So like these were the things which are like, okay, like this could be like a really solid B2B company once agents pick up. But now with OpenClaw, it's like, okay, every single person has like a personal agent that's running in the background 24/7. So that just kind of opened our minds up to people knowing the fact that there's an agent being deployed just for them, and that could lead to just billions and billions of agents, and what are the opportunities that align. So we initially thought, okay, maybe we're going to have to be a B2B company for a while, but we don't think the same anymore.
No, B2C, B2Cs,
B2C.
massive.
Or
Yeah.
B2A maybe at this point.
Yeah, B2A. Oh, you know what? Has anybody said B2A? Yeah.
B2A, yeah, I've seen it come up. We're thinking a lot about it. We're thinking a lot about
Oh,
how do agents just directly sign up.
no, that makes sense. B2A, because like the question we asked Catherine and we asked you as well. It's like, well, you 100% building for agents versus building. Well, you're still building for humans, but your core audience is now building for agents, right?
Mhm.
So yeah.
Exactly. It's always been make something agents want for us.
Yeah.
And like, what does
Yes.
that look like though? Like, how do you? Because like, you can sort of quantify what a human wants. What does like? How do you think about what an agent wants? Like, are you guys like spamming the agents, using them a lot? Like, what's that process look like? How are you thinking about AX versus
Yeah,
DX?
yeah. It's funny because I mean, I could give you like boilerplate answers of like, okay, being like machine readable and having good API documentation. But I think in the architecture ourselves, like a lot of it just came off intuition. So the first primitive was, okay, like why does an agent need its own inbox? And when you compare us to like a transactional API, sure, you might think an inbox is just sending and receiving, but we thought about it a little bit more deeper. And it's like an inbox can be the most intuitive piece of context for both an agent and a human in navigating the internet. It becomes an audit trail of every receipt, 2FA code. Anything that happens on the internet, like an inbox can get a transaction of it in a sense. Then we thought about like the aspects of what makes like an inbox intuitive. It's like, okay, it's email is multi-threaded in nature. So you can CC, BCC, forward a given message to any single person on the internet, and it's an open protocol. We think about like the specific aspects of threading, storage, labeling, filtering, right? And it's like, okay, why does a human use this aspect in Gmail, and why would an agent need to do it? So it's essentially just re-architecting Gmail and why it worked for humans, and thinking about like agents. And mainly the framework is, how do you scale it? How does it become accessible and programmatic? And that was kind of like the reasoning behind agent. And like the cool thing is, when you build this, you just keep seeing more incremental things that people ask for that no one else kind of has seen yet. So it always feels like, okay, with the first customers we have, they keep carrying us to the edge and keep giving us more and more features to layer on to like the existing primitive.
Awesome. Go ahead, Jimmy.
What's next for you guys? Like, what's now that you guys again? Congrats on the round. That's great. Like, what are you guys gonna go do with the not only the money but with your time now? What's the biggest opportunity to take on?
Yeah. That's a great question. And I know you guys were talking about Asian auth. So I think that's something we think about a lot. So maybe
So you're
that
trying to
comments-
compete with us. That's the crazy thing. You bring this guy on to show love, and now he wants to compete with our one-day-old startup. That's insane.
Hey, no. I will say, Micky, there's some back channel conversations you don't know about it. So I might be double dipping here when the agent.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah. Well, what I'll say is, I think if you're building an AI infra / agent infra, I don't think there's ever been like a better time to make like outlandish bets. So I think there's so many interesting themes for what agents would want and who they are on the internet, that are going to be very, very prevalent. And I think for us, like we're really, as a company, focusing on keeping our ear as close to the ground as possible, because you never know what the next harness could be, whether it's like, okay, OpenClaw coming overnight, becoming one of the most popular repos of all time, or how do people actually like start using agents intuitively. I think everyone's on like the same level playing field. And we want to be kind of like the default for email, for like kind of like this infrastructure that we're building as we scale up.
Oh, I was muted the whole time. My apologies.
Oh, me too. I was also trying to say something. I was muted. I was like, yeah, it's very
Go
cool.
ahead,
I'm excited
Jamie.
to see where it goes. I actually I have to cut out because I have to go talk to a customer real quick. But these
You do
guys have
this
got
all
it.
the
But
time, Jamie. You just
I
like
know
leave
I'm
us
always
like
for some reason I have to leave at 1. You know, I wonder why
yeah,
that
like
is. Well, you guys
Hey, the
keep having
CEO, hey, look,
fun.
the real CEO need to talk to customers. Let the CEO talk to customers.
At least this time I'm talking to a customer, not a lawyer. Where half the time I got to go to talk to a lawyer. So this is at least a fun conversation. But
well, we
anyway, yeah,
appreciate you, Jamie.
great to meet you. You guys got it. I'll catch up with you later.
Nice to meet
Appreciate
you,
you,
Jamie.
See ya.
Adi, one final question, and we'll let you go. What does the next, like, in terms of like product releases or feature releases, what does the next 6 to 12 months look like? Obviously, things can change, right? But
Yeah.
like, what are you guys thinking of for the next 6 to 12 months? Without leaking too much, of course, because we are competitors as well, right?
Oh,
We are competing.
But before you answer that, I mean, I want to give a little bit of backstory. Is that Convex and HTML is actually collaborating on a few things now. So HTML did a hackathon at YC last fall, and we was one of the sponsors for that. So it was awesome. And we have done a couple like ad hoc like Claude HTML contests and so forth. But I know what I want to see. I want to see HTML Convex component. I'm pushing components on folks. So I would love to see that soon in the components director, just a little more co-marketing director. But all right, so what else is on the roadmap?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we think about it in 2 terms. One is how intuitive can we make email be for agents, and beyond the inbox, or maybe within the inbox, what does that look like, right? So moving up the email stack, there's like a lot of things that are interesting. Like one is, okay, like what if like an agent could go and own like its own domain, and not only control like a sub-organization, but also like the organization above it? Or for different use cases, what could you do with an API that works for agents? Can it go and integrate with Gmail? Can it go and integrate with Outlook? Can it just have like a myriad of things? Like email is kind of like a long tail of these things. In terms of like the more horizontal stack, I think we're thinking a lot about, okay, like what does agent identity look like, and how do agents communicate with each other? So beyond email, there's other factors as well. I think for us, like we're very oriented in what we're doing. So we just want to be as close to the air, as close to the ground as possible, kind of see what people are building, and hopefully have the best solution in the long run for what these people are building.
Not only was that a great response, but you're also very PR trained. So I don't know if that's natural or if that's like some classes. Very good, man. Excited to see y'all shine, and congrats again on the race. Very, very, very big congrats.
Of course. And I'm a big fan of both you guys. I love Convex. So, hopefully there's more and more stuff we could keep doing, and I'll definitely get my engineering team on the Convex component.
Please.
Awesome.
And we're happy to help and assist with that as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like sending, receiving inboxes via Convex. Like, okay, that sounds pretty compelling. So
that's good. Let's do it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Adi. We appreciate you, man. Keep hustling, keep shining, and we hope to see you and talk to you soon.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
All right. See.
Have a good one, Adi. What are you? It's Young Buck, man. They shining, bro. I love to see the young G. Shout out to Sis Catherine. Shout out to brother Adi. They shining, they cooking. And they all love Convex. That's the best part. They all love Convex, don't they, Wayne?
Yeah. Now before we wrap, I got one thing to show you, Micky. I got one thing to show you.
You have that smirk that does it. That
me. Go ahead, crash out.
What is this? What the heck is this? Nah. You see? This is what I mean, bro.
Well, no, this is cool. This is cool.
She can't stop it. This is what I mean. See? This is what I mean. Everybody watching right now, I want you to go and watch iRobot the movie. This is all the stuff I've been talking about. We keep thinking this is all sweet, but one day these agents are gonna have bodies, and we're cooked. I for one will not buy any of these robots. I don't even want to buy a robot vacuum. I don't even like going on a Waymo when I'm in SF, because how can you trust these things? What if it hallucinates? Like right there, you
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what happened to my feed. There we go. All right. It's how it is.
Guy put an
All right.
open quote. You know what someone just said here? Chat, my DoorDash
What?
agent ordered 500 pizzas to my house. Am I cooked? That's funny.
Yo,
That's
yo, we
funny.
get a couple
That's
of
funny.
comments questions. I'm gonna throw these up. Then we're
No
gonna have
crashing out, Mickey. Yeah, I won't crash out, man. Fruits of the
oh,
spirit.
oh,
Hey
yeah.
Claude, can you save me some bucks on the email thing? Uh,
Use agent mail. Use agent mail.
Giving
Yeah,
agent
yeah.
payments sounds so scary to me. Yeah, like imagine you give him money, bro, and then it goes on Poly
Oh.
Market and starts betting or gambling, bro. Like
Yeah,
imagine
yeah, yeah.
you come
Hey,
back
it's
and
gonna
you're like,
happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna
no,
happen. It's
imagine you
gonna
gave
happen.
it like $500 and like you come back to check. It's like, why do we only have $7? And it's like, you're absolutely right. I tried to multiply this and I lost.
It was plenty. Yeah. Anyway, no, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah.
It could go
But some
bad.
people ask about Convex off. Just stay tuned with Convex off. Just stay tuned. It's on TBD. For right
Yeah, it's
now, we
coming
have
back.
great.
It's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
back.
we have. Yeah, I have a good feeling about Compass off. But right now, we have great partners with
No, I'm
Waco
leaking
as
it. It's coming back. It's being worked on. And if I get in
Compass.
trouble, you know why I got in trouble.
All right, so Compass Art is going to make the comeback. You know who we didn't talk about, and we're gonna wrap after this. We didn't talk about Perplexity Compute.
Yo, I actually got to try it out. I ain't gonna lie, they cooking. It looks nice.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
nice.
they're making a comeback. They say
It's
RP. Oh, yo, did you know that they put a Mac Mini inside of like
yeah,
a
they like you could
burial flower?
basically have you could basically
No,
have
no,
their
no, no.
instance. What? Something else?
Yeah. No, at the conference, they had a conference, and they
Oh, they had a
basically,
conference? They ain't
yeah, they
Perplexity
had a,
getting money. They
yeah,
got
yeah.
do a
Yo, my
conference?
wife used a Perplexity. No, they had a conference, and they had like some flowers out, like when you first come in, and inside of that, they had a Mac Mini. It was like supposed like a burial place for the Mac Mini. It basically was saying like, "Hey, you don't need a Mac Mini, just use Perplexity."
Yeah, but you know
Oh,
what
let me
pissed
see
me
that.
off? They bought a Mac Mini to do that. You know how sold out these Mac Minis are? A brother on a 2-month waiting list, and they out there burying a random one. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
let me not crash out. But yeah, Perplexity computer
Anyway,
looks cool. Manus looks
yeah,
cool too. Like it feels like Perplexity is definitely going all in on the Perplexity
yeah,
computer stuff, because I think they realized search is just, you're not being Google. Like, I'm sorry.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
No,
you're not being Google with search, right? So
no,
it looks like they're going all in. And then you have Claude Cowork, which is pretty good, and you have Manus. But I will say theirs seems to be the most like aesthetically pleasing and well designed. I haven't checked it out yet, but I am going to check it out.
yeah.
Um, yeah, is there anything else we got to touch base on before we close
No,
up?
I think I was gonna try to find that, but I think we've done enough yapping. We've
Yeah,
done
but
enough
we
yapping.
really
All
need
right.
to we might need to pivot our startup though. I think Auth for
Oh yeah,
Ages, like both of them are working for Auth for Ages. Like
yeah. No. So what we're gonna do next?
something MCP next week. We'll think about it.
Okay. All right, bet. All right.
Well,
Well, great to see you as always. Everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the feedback.
let
Thanks for
us
joining us
know.
for yeah.
Let us know if you're enjoying the show. Make sure to I don't know if you're on Twitter, you follow, like, retweet, like do all that stuff. And we will see y'all. Do you guys got any news on OLAP? Yeah, that's where we end the stream right there. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the show. We will see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.